Brilliant. Let's dive back into edit mode and have a look at some of the other features of Dreams. So what are we doing here, guys? We're going to show you that Dreams is not just a tool to make levels featuring giant trees and jumps. You can make any kind of video game you like, so we've got a really robust audio side to Dreams as well, so you can make your own music, sound effects and voice. So we're going to make some music for this wonderful little game that John has made for you guys. So the easiest way to make music, or to get music in your level, is just to put some in. Just as we've been stamping other bits of geometry, I guess, just these sculpts have been put in the level like this, we can put some music straight away in the level. And we can do that from the Dreamverse. So we can search for any type of thing, any type of publication. Let's go for music. And this shows all the pieces of music that have been published recently. It's like a feed. You can obviously search for particular words. We're not going to do that, then what's going to come up. So here's all like things that have been published as music. There's so much stuff already.
There's a lot. Yeah.
And we're just always making music, always just sending stuff up, and just to wind up the rest of the team. So let's choose one. Shu, which piece of music would you like? We've got this thing is called Eye Contact. That's pretty intense.
Oh, I like this.
Sci-fi. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great, and it gives you a little preview of what you're about to get. So, here we have some music on the end of our imp. We can just put this in our level anywhere you like. We're doing it all in this one scene, which is really cool. Music just sits in the sky.
We are setting up when the music starts.
No, if you just put it in the level, it will start when the level starts. So that you don't need to set it up if you don't want to.
Okay.
You can just drop it in.
Yeah.
You could connect that trigger zone that we put in the road there. We can connect that up to the music, and then the music would only play there.
When you're in
Funky. See if you can make the jump there.
I'm going to see if I can make it with some sci-funk, because that's probably what we needed.
That bass.
Huh?
Very nice.
Okay, cool. So the music is just playing. Let's have a look back down. So what I wanted to show you there is that if you don't feel particularly musically inclined, or if you just don't have time for it, you just want to make something really cool really quickly, you just drop something in the level and you're away. You've even given yourself some atmosphere. So we've been showing people how music is made in Dreams, and I'm going to show you what this little gadget is. This is a component that's used across all disciplines. It's not a musical toy essentially. It's a timeline, and you can find it right here because it's so useful for animations. Here's a blank timeline. So open that up. You guys have been showing you how timelines work.
And you'll notice these kind of glassy panels, we call them canvases. We use them all over the place in Dreams, and it's really fun again in VR because you can arrange them around you as a kind of control panel. So you can be standing there and being like working on your music or your animation or your cuts, and you have everything laid out physically, and you can just kind of reach around to grab different things. So two move controllers, you can get kind of funky.
And another one of those panels, which is really useful, is called a microchip, which I don't think we've shown yet, but here's a microchip. And it's got nothing in it, but this is another type of panel where you might put logic. It's like a little folder, it's a way of neatening up your level.
That's what I use all day.
So John is a microchip king.
I'm a microchip.
Right, so as well as this timeline which we can interact with and extend, I'm just going to get rid of this one because it's empty. Our sci-funk is a kind of semi-finished piece of music that lives on a timeline. And this has got more stuff in it because obviously it's...
That's a lot of stuff. And you can see the playhead moving along there, activating the musical instruments as they go.
Go to the drop.
Yeah, I'm going to actually make an edit here. I'm going to trim off the first part of the music, because I don't want that. I just want the cool, funky bass line, so it's going to start from here. Let's see if this helps the gameplay.
Give Shu another go when the music flows in.
I need to make these steps better. That's the bit that's letting this level down, it's the steps. You're going to get it by the end, Chu, honestly. We're going to... One more go. Okay.
You can hear the music's looping back to where we told it to loop. We skipped off the introduction of the song.
Here we go. It's just too hard.
Music's just not inspirational enough.
I'm really sorry. Please.
You know what I think it is that this music is
I used to produce 3D platform games.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so this music isn't good enough to get Shu up the tree. We need to make it something from scratch that is going to get him up the tree. That's my mission. Right, so we saw timelines and we've seen what a finished song looks like, but now we're going to have a look at how to make some music. In the sound tool, we can find this timeline again. Let's open this up. And in the sound tool, we've got a sound effect collection, so you can add ambiences and sound effects to your levels and your characters. You've got footsteps and explosions and all kind of cool stuff in there. And of course, you've got instruments as well. You know, we'll be building music, so we'll go into the instrument collection. We've got all sorts of cool stuff in here: wind, brass, strings. And I've been starting making music with these like kind of demo songs. Shu, Wildlands or Big Drums, Silly Winds?
Big drums.
Big drums. Okay, so here is some instruments that already have some notes written on them, so we can just kind of collage together some music using just these if we like. So let's start with some drums, or taikos.
So Dreams will come with all these something?
Yes,
Oh.
and more. In fact, this is just the first two that we made for this demo. There'll be tons.
All of those things that Ed was choosing from are made in the tool as well anyway, so that hopefully is going to be a list that just grows and grows.
So I can just study these samples and to make...
Yeah, this is just collaging a piece of music together essentially.
Yeah,
You
just
see, Shu, the point about, sorry Ed,
that's right.
the thing about studying them is a really good point. If you want to learn how something works in Dreams, the best way is to find something that already does what you want and then take it to
Okay.
bits and find out how they did it. So basically, if you wanted to study these drum patterns, you could learn music with Dreams. You could learn about like rhythms, you could learn about melodies, just by taking existing bits of music and then breaking down how they did it. So yes, good question.
Yeah, great question. So let's see what it sounds like. Let's look at it as it plays. Okay, this is more of the vibe that we're going for, I think. Okay, we've got some dramatic drums coming in. I think we need a few more instruments. It's a bit sparse. I'm going to go back to
Some
this.
bass.
Yeah, we'll get some bass in for you, Mark. I'm just going to put in a few. See, here's a tree. We've got some percussion that has been made with some bamboo. Now, the cool thing about these sounds is that they existed as real sounds in the real world. They're not digital. They are real recordings of sound, and they have been imported into Dreams via a second screen app. You can also get sound into the game with a microphone, like the one
On the PlayStation camera.
like the one on the PlayStation camera. But
So
yeah,
basically, Ed sits in his room and he literally gets rubber bands and bits of bamboo and,
And
he
slaps his
writes
face
yeah,
and
slaps
says
his
meow.
face, yeah.
yeah, crazy days. So here we're just putting some more of these in.
That's Ed on the violin too, actually.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get this ocarina loop.
And also you can also search like a bamboo sound
Yeah.
and someone else made already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, just to show you how instruments work, because all you've seen so far is just me putting these kind of semi-finished loops and phrases together on a timeline. What I can do is open up any of these instruments, and I get this really cool thing, which I've been really enjoying showing people how this works today. This is kind of like a canvas for you to perform with. And now when I've opened this, I can use the imp and the buttons on the DualShock 4 to play that instrument. That sounds like a nice kick of a tree or something.
All he's doing is pressing X.
And we use the imp and this performance canvas to play these individual instruments. And these notes down, or these strokes down here, they don't look like traditional notes. They look like kind of light painting. So when this bamboo percussion is going to start, we'll see what happens to those notes. You see the notes coming towards the canvas. So this has got loads of cool things in here. Oh, it sounds like a twig on Mark's back being thrown out.